Hello everyone and welcome back to Marine Wisdom. Previously in our part 1 video we covered the upper engine room round, and as promised we have brought to you the part 2 of the checklist, and which starts with the middle engine room round. So starting off with the calorifier, we'll first check if there are any active alarms on the panel. Then we'll check if the temperature is in range, and by temperature I mean these two values, that is the set value and the process value. We will check if the circulating pump is running. We will check if steam is available, then we don't need the electric heater. Moving on to the STP, which is the sewage treatment plant, we'll first check if the vacuum is in range. Now these vacuum gauges are usually located just right above the vacuumerator pumps, and in the dial you will see this green area, and ideally the pointer should be in that area. So we generally have two pumps and they usually have cut-in cut-out values of 40% vacuum. They cut in at 40% vacuum and they cut out at 55% vacuum. So, and the standby vacuumerator pump starts at around 38% vacuum. Second point is we will make sure if our chemical dosing tank is full, and that usually is filled with sodium hypochlorite. So just sort of shake the container so you'll be able to tell if it still has the chemical, and there's usually a small chemical dosing pump attached to it which is continuously supplying the chemical to the third stage of the tank. Next point is make sure obviously if one of the vacuumerator pumps is in auto, very important, and running. And what I usually do is I switch over the pumps like every alternate day, so to sort of relieve the load. So one day pump number 1 is on, the second day pump number 2 is on. The next point is we'll check if the discharge pump is on auto, and we should also check if the discharge pump is running continuously, because if it is doing so, that means it's not a good sign, and it most likely means that the float inside is dirty. So it's thinking that it needs to empty the stage, but in reality it's just the float switch that is dirty, and this has happened like twice on my ship, so I can tell you from experience that this is a common problem. Moving on to a diesel generator and alternator, we'll first check the level of our lube oil with the dipstick as shown in the picture. Then we'll monitor the exhaust temperature, the RPM, the turbocharger RPM from the local panel, and we should also note any difference in the exhaust gas temperature between any two units. It should not be more than 50 degrees. If it is, that means the fuel combustion characteristics in that unit are faulty. Maybe the injector is leaking, injector is faulty, the fuel pump is faulty. So yeah, it can be a bunch of things. So exhaust gas temperature should be always compared, and they should also be compared with the local values on the thermometers. Moving on to the fuel oil inlet filters. So as you can see in the picture, I'll just zoom in. This is a fuel oil inlet filter, and you see this? Oh, one sec. Yeah, this is like a knob which can be rotated. So that has to be rotated every day because that is what keeps the filter clean. And once you rotate that, also make sure to drain. All the impurities will then drain out, and that happens. So it's not shown over here, but there's this. So imagine this is the filter. There's this valve over here which is pressed up. So this is pressed up and the impurities just drain out. So that's how you drain your filters and you keep them clean. This is important because these are your last filters before they enter. So yeah. Moving on. And also, yeah, don't drain it for a long time, because if you drain it, you see this this leakage box over here, that will give an alarm, and that is always annoying. So just drain it, like, in a very short amount of time. Just be prompt when you're doing that. The next thing is we'll check for the oil level in our governor, and that usually should not be less than half of the site class. So just ensure that there are no leaks, because hydraulic oil is important for the operation of governors. Moving on to a nozzle cooling water pump. So we'll first check the flow of water through the site glass. So usually there is like a site glass over here, and what I usually did was, so it's not shown in the picture here, but it's somewhere over here. Wait, I'll just show you. It's somewhere over here in the picture, just below these pipes. And what I usually did was, I used to like, just, this is my flashlight. So I used to just shine a flashlight from behind this side glass. So that just, helps you see if the water is actually flowing. So just take a flashlight, put it behind your side glass, and then you'll know if the water is flowing or not. So yeah, this is a good practice that was taught to me by my seniors, and I'm just passing it on. Then we'll check, obviously, if the pump is running and the motor amperage. It should be, if there's an ammeter, it should be in the green zone. So yeah, just basic stuff, simple stuff. Moving on to the main air compressor. So we will first check the discharge pressure and temperature of all the 3 stages. So just do that and compare it with the manual recommended values based on the compression ratios. And it's always a good practice to have that graph, that compression ratio graph, because that also gives you the standard pressures and temperatures for air. So on our ship, we had that graph printed out from the manual and stuck near the panel for everybody's reference. The next thing we'll check is the lube oil level in the sump, and ideally it should be done for like a idle compressor or a shutdown compressor to get the accurate reading. So that's all for part 2 of the video, and I will be continuing from the main air compressor, the remaining points. So please stay tuned and please subscribe. Please like, comment and share, and comment Marine Wisdom if you guys watched it till the end, so that I know that you guys are watching. And please also let me know if you guys would if there's a specific topic you guys would want to learn about. And Marine Wisdom takes classes for class 2, class 4 and class 1 certificate of competency exams. So if you guys want to inquire about the classes, I will be linking our Instagram handle in the description, and you guys can also comment and we will get back to you. Thank you.